How do you feel about public transportation? It's heavily subsidized in many cases. How does that fit into this?
It is heavily subsidized, and I think we've seen, I know Indianapolis just decided not to continue their subsidy for their Amtrak service. I believe Amtrak was being subsidized by maybe 5 communities in Indiana for almost $3 million this past year, and Indianapolis was one of them, and they're stepping out of that. And they're stepping out of it because it was only being used by 300 passengers a week. So my children have used the Amtrak out of Garrett or Waterloo, Waterloo, and that's nice for them, but that's not something that's convenient for a business person. When it could be a 5-hour trip, it could be a 3-hour. I mean, it's 2 hours late. So we're not quite there yet, I guess. You know, people compare us to Europe, but Europe is what, $6-7 a gallon of gas, and it's still easier, cheaper. We have a great highway system to drive. So as much as I'd like to see rail service, I think we have other priorities before we start subsidizing that.
Sure. What about like CityLink? Is something that's very local, of course. Any feelings on local bus service?
Well, and I could be remembering incorrectly, but as I recall in City Council, those are federal dollars, and then they're subsidized by local property tax dollars. So that's not something, at least as a state legislature, I'd be involved in. And so that's a local decision, and I am a big supporter of home rule, local rule. So, you know, the city's decision, because CityLink has to bring their budget every year to the City Council, and if they're comfortable with how their budget is structured and the property tax allocation they get and the federal dollars that are passed through to them, then that's appropriate. You know, I think there should be oversight, which there is, but that's not something as a state legislature that I would be involved in.
Good point.